Okay, guys, I'm going in for a few things.
Come on, honey. The anniversary sale at Acme is huge.
Just a few things, promise.
Settle in, Dad. It's gonna be a while.
Get ready to save at the anniversary sale at Acme. Pick up Quaker cereal just $1.25 each when you buy 4. And don't forget Doritos, $1.99 each, limit 4. Don't miss the anniversary sale at Acme. Savings worth celebrating.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. It is August 2nd, 2018. Willie, you want to say hi?
What up, dope people? It's your boy Willie Styles. What's good with you?
Yes. We got Willie Styles online. Clint is feeling under the weather, so get better, Clint. We want you to always to be your best self. So take care of yourself, and we'll catch you on the next show. And if you feel better, you'll call in. If not, we understand. So,
yeah. Feel better, bro.
Yeah. I hate when he's feeling bad because we want him on certain topics, and I really wanted him on this topic. But, life happens, and you just can't, sometimes you got to take care of yourself, which we definitely say take care of yourself. But if you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. Go on to teespring.com/stores/GFT radio, or cop y'all some merchandise, put that GFT logo merchandise on you, take pictures, post it on our Instagram at GFT_radio, or hit us up on Twitter, same at GFT_radio. Or if you're building up, post it on our Facebook page, GFT radio. You can find us. We're everywhere. What are you ready for the topic?
Yes.
Right?
I am ready for this topic.
Oh, but I do want to, before we get into the show, today is my niece, it's like my other daughter. It's her birthday. She just turned 17. We went out for dinner. It was good. We had good friends, family, Bob, so that was good. So shout out to my niece, Ariana, because if I call her Buddha and she hear me, she gonna be like, why you call me Buddha on the air? So, but I did kind of sort of. So,
right.
She'll be over it.
I think
It's been a kid.
Maybe, I don't know.
She'll be fine. It's her birthday, so I'm excited for her. So, I'm going to say happy birthday to my baby.
That's what's up. Happy birthday.
So, you want to jump in the topic, or you want to give me how your week was before we jump in?
Yeah, I mean, we could jump right in. I think this topic is so controversial and so out there. I mean, a lot of people are asking questions. A lot of people are wondering what's going on. I think we, just a pre-disclaimer to the, what was that?
So when we posted this, I got mixed. Well, for the most part, most of my people, I posted on my Facebook first. Most of them knew what we were aiming at, because they know me and they knew what we were aiming at. But for those who didn't, they were mad that we posted this. We got told us to take it down. But I think people misconstrued what we were saying. So just for clarification purposes, we are not with it. We are against. Period.
Yeah, we're not with them shits. We with the shits, but not them shits.
Exactly. But we feel like we talked about at the end of our last show, it's an important topic. People need to know what's going on, and we just want to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going on, because you just people don't pay attention to the laws, and we're all glamoured up by what Trump is doing. That we're missing important laws that are possibly being passed or that are going through at some point, may or may not pass in the near future, and we're missing them because we're caught up with the BS that Trump been doing, that we just missed the other shit. And I'm surprised he's not paying attention. He against everybody. He should be against them. The one people he should be against, he should be speaking out against. I don't know. This shit might fly. So, we're definitely, hold on. I think we got Clint on the line. Let's get him in. Clint.
Hey, what's going on, good people?
Hey, we are so happy for you to join us. We just was talking about you.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather. I just wanted to call in because, this topic, a little hot topic, so I just wanted to give my little 2 cents before I before I bow out.
Yes, we pretty much got a lot of people that want to call, and hopefully we get a lot of calls on this one. I know this topic was we was getting hit up on all our on our social media about this topic. So I'm hoping we do get a lot of calls, because I know we did get a lot of feedback when we posted it. But who want to bring into what the topic is about?
So one thing that happened with this one, I think we were discussing the TEDx that that Clint had saw and I think I had saw the articles about this a couple of years ago. It's actually been around for a couple of years, this discussion, and basically people trying to push for social acceptance and or government protection for pedosexuals, as they want to be called, basically saying that being sexually attracted to children is a state of
sexual
being,
orientation.
just like say sexual orientation or a natural occurrence of attraction, and that they're looking to get those type of protections from persecution, from being attacked and things of that nature. So like you said, this is a very important topic to discuss in terms of what it could mean if some, as well as having a discussion around why there's certain individuals and certain people and groups of people, large groups of people who want to attach the pedosexual lifestyle onto the the LGBTQ lifestyle and try to join the two together as a way of trying to down or attack the LGBTQ community. So.
Yeah.
Clinton, you can tell us about the TED Talk you were listening to.
Yeah, the lady, I can't really pronounce her name, but she was basically saying what Willie just broke down about how she felt as though it was basically a sexual orientation. She used an example of a man that was attracted to 6 to 12-year-olds, but he never acted on it. And her argument was like, even though he has those feelings, we shouldn't hold any ill will towards him, and this, that, and the third, which is totally, in my opinion, bullshit. But and she wanted to attack. Yeah, she wanted to attach it, like she said. She wanted to use it and attach it to like the LGBTQ community. And I don't know if y'all remember, but like we actually talked about. I don't think we dedicated the show to it, but sometime last year we actually talked about this. Because it was another situation where a guy, he was doing the same thing, and he posted. I think I maybe even posted a video on IG where he was saying the exact same thing, that, we're no different, we should be protected. It's a whole movement going on. The thing that bugged me out the most and really upset me is some of the comments that we were getting on our posts when we brought up this topic, because it showed to me the lack of just showed to me the ignorance of some people towards the situation. Not calling the people ignorant, but ignorant towards what's going on, because they're just sitting there. Oh, of course they should be persecuted, or they should be, this, that, and the third. But like, why is this even a question? Or that's some of the comments we were hearing or reading, and I'm like, well, this is they're starting a movement. You feel me? And they're really trying to get traction with their movement, because it's a lot of them.
Yes.
There's a lot of pedophiles out here. There's so many of them. So, and then, you have people, pedophiles that have, like we see all the time coming out with politicians and all the, they have some sort of power. Some of these people have power. So you don't know really who's who. So this conversation and awareness, that's all we really wanted to do with this topic, is bring awareness, you feel me, and have the conversation and let people know what's going on, around in this country. Like, they're really trying to, they want to be legalized. They want to be recognized as normal. They're trying to normalize pedophilia. you know, and to me that's sick. That's sick. You know, like we're taking the innocence away from our children. You know, and then a lot of those arguments people have, like, well, back in the days, you know, you had 13, 14-year-olds getting married to, you know what I mean, women, and that actually did happen. You feel me? That was quite normal back in the day in some states, you know, across this country. You know, like, remember when we had the conversation, we was talking about the, I forget what state, Willie, you probably can help me out, where the guy was running for a political seat, but he was, you know,
Roy
I think
Moore.
he had Roy Moore, yeah. And then they had like a little open discussion. I remember this quite vividly on CNN. They were showing a clip, and you had people actually defending him. Like, yeah, that was, like, yeah, that stuff was normal, and they didn't see nothing wrong with it. We shouldn't judge him. And I'm like, wow, we're really going down a slippery slope to where a guy who openly molested somebody almost won an election. So for the people out there who's voicing their opinion, oh, this shouldn't be, and we even had, I think, I actually blocked it, but we actually had a dude that supported pedosexual stuff comment on our page.
Well, he was like pedosexual pride or whatever, and it's like, no, dude. But, and it's a crazy thing, like, I feel like with our thing, like, a lot of people read it and didn't understand what we were talking about, and, like, I know that when I was talking to people on my Facebook, like, one of my friends at where I work with, he's a homosexual. We talked about it, and he was like, you know, we had a conversation about it, and that he said, and he was just saying, you know, how he understood what we were talking about, he knew what we were talking about, and I feel like a lot of people don't, like, a lot of people, I had talked to a couple of coworkers about it today, and I was like, they don't understand that these new laws, like this law, like, I was reading back when we had a discussion after the show last week about talking about this, and I was reading stuff, different articles. It was going back to 2013 that they were trying to pass this off as a sexual orientation. And, like, a lot of people miss, like I was explaining to people, it's not that they're trying to protect pedophiles to an extent. They're trying to protect them as if they're like you said, a sexual orientation, and then it's just like, okay, so they're not protecting the actual act of them talking to or dating or having sex with a minor. It's just that they're protecting them as a sexual orientation. They're trying to protect it as a non-discrimination situation where you can't discriminate against them. So if jobs hire them, if you know that they're on Megan's Law and stuff like that, you can't discriminate from them hiring them because of who they are, or because you know who they are. You can't, like, it's almost like you can't hire somebody because they're black. You can't say, oh, well, you're black, I won't hire you. It's almost the same thing they're trying to do. Or because you're gay or transgender, we can't say we can't hire you, or we can't do this, and that, or we can't deny you or discriminate against you because of this. And you know that with Megan's Law and stuff like that, and if you're a pedophile, you have to register. So once you're registered, they know that you are who you are. So you can't say, well, we don't like to serve your kind here at this restaurant because you're discriminating. Like, that's what they're trying to do, is give them the same rights that they will give anybody with as LGBTQ or, like, black. Or, well, now, you know, discrimination against Muslims. You can't say, oh, because you're Muslim, we won't serve you. So that's what they're trying to equate that with that. But I feel like it's a disconnect because, first of all, these people are criminals, period. Especially if they act on it, if they got a law, if they had to sign up for Megan's Law or stuff like that, then you are an official criminal. You went beyond stealing and you acted. So at that point, you're a criminal, so you should be treated as if a criminal, because having people that, like, you look at the laws where people that sell drugs get longer time than pedophiles. People that you know, get caught with, like, a gun charge get longer than pedophiles. But you understand that when you sexually assault or stuff like that with a minor, you're scarring that person for life. It's not just a one-time deal. They got to deal with that the rest of their lives. So at that point, you should be, whatever you thought you was going to have in your life should be done. You should be discriminated upon.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So from the standpoint of what you're saying, what do you feel about people who have not been accused of or found guilty of any kind of criminal act against children, but identify as pedosexual? How do you feel it should be? How it should work?
You're a problem in the making, because just because nobody reported, you know how people get sexually assaulted as minors from an adult and don't report it? Just because you aren't caught, that doesn't mean that you're not doing. You know, I can go back to my childhood and tell you people that I know never been reported that still work with kids to this day. You're still a pedophile, and if anybody knows about you, they should address you accordingly. Period. It doesn't matter, because like you look at this thing, like you look at it like you look at rape. A lot of people got raped and they haven't addressed their accuser or pressed charges against their accuser, because, you know, with rape laws, you basically put on trial for everything you ever done. If you had a lifestyle that was crazy and you got raped, they're bringing all that up to the light. So as a minor being assaulted, whether you can look at this, like some minors deal with grown folks and don't see the wrong in it. So just because it hasn't been reported should not abstain you from being judged. If I know that you mess with minors, and I know that for a fact, I'm going to judge you as a fucking pedophile. I don't care whether or not you got charged with it or not. You're a pedophile.
No. Okay. No, I agree.
But I'm thinking what he's saying is,
this is my question. My question is what if they have not? What if they just say, I have a problem. My problem, you know, my psychological issue is I'm attracted to children, but they've never acted on it. But they know they have this issue. So what happened was, I was in, just kind of give you a background on why I'm asking this question, because there's a backup question to this. Now I got to play devil's advocate. So the question is, or the situation was, there's an article that this guy wrote. I just posted it to the comments of my posting on Facebook. Basically, he was saying that he felt that the wording in the Snopes post that talked about this situation was misleading and was inflammatory, because they were interchanging the word pedophile and sexual and child sexual abuse. They were interchanging these words together, or not pedophile, but pedophilia. They were interchanging the word pedophilia and the act of actually abusing a child interchangeably, just back and forth, right? So he had an issue with that, and his issue with it was the fact that, you know, and I understood what he meant. You know, I don't agree with any of it, but I understood what he meant. His thing was, pedophilia is the act, or not the act, but it's the feeling or the sexual attraction part of it. Mm-hmm. Child sexual abuse is the action, right? So you got two different things going on, right? So you have some people who have acted upon either their urges or their situations, and they've committed child sexual abuse. You have that large group of people that have done that, right? Then you have this subvert group of people who have identified themselves or have been clinically identified as suffering from pedophilia. Irregardless of what they've done or not done, they know that they have this attraction to underage or pubescent children, right? So they've identified or they feel like that, right? Now, for the people, what I'm saying is, for the people who have identified that way but have not taken any action,
they need to seek help.
It goes exactly back to the TEDx talk. That's what I brought up earlier. That's the example. That's the actual example the lady used. That's what I was saying. When she brought up the guy, you know, he said he was thinking that he has these feelings, he has these sexual attractions to little kids, but he has never acted upon them. And her thought, her thing was, well, we shouldn't hold him as to the standard as we hold somebody who actually acted upon them. My thing is, if you accept the behavior, if you accept the thought, if you that's a form of normalizing it, and it's a slippery slope. Because just because you haven't acted upon it doesn't mean I want you around my kids.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Or any kid for that matter. I don't want you around any kid because
well,
I know that you're not looking at those kids innocently. You feel me? You're looking at those kids with ulterior motives, even if you don't act on them. That's why even those who have acted on them and, you know, they done did their jail time or whatever, and they come home and you know, they got to sign up for the, I forget the, what they got to sign up for. You know, the sexual thing where,
the sexual offender list. Yeah,
the sexual offender list. It's, you know, they're still not allowed any places where kids are at. You feel me?
That's
they're not allowed to be in the school.
You feel me?
So
if you identify that you shouldn't, if you feel like you're attracted to kids and you know that it's not right, you should not want to be around kids.
Right.
See, but that's the thing. That's the point.
So, but
they act like it's not in their mind. It isn't. It is right.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, and what you were saying earlier, Sonny, is you're saying irregardless if they did something wrong or not, and even if they want to stay away from kids, they shouldn't be allowed to be around anybody, and we should ostracize them completely, and not give them any opportunity to live a normal life at all.
Well, it's not that. I just feel like this. If you know, like, come on, like we grown ass people. If you find yourself attracted to kids and you know that the world sees it as wrong, whether you see it as wrong or not, and you see it as wrong, look at it like this. If I feel like, I feel like I'm attracted to little ass boys, right, or girls, whatever the case may be, and I know that the world sees it as wrong, and I know that it's wrong, because by law it's wrong. You should know that if you want to not be looked upon or ostracized, because you know that it's wrong, it's a crime, you know what I'm saying, sexually to be with them, then you should try to either get help or distance yourself, because after a while, if you've been around kids, right, if you know that you were attracted to kids and this, that, and the third, and you always around kids, you got kids spending at your house, like, why would you, after, like, you realize, look at it realistic. If you always around something, if you know you can't have chocolate, you're always around chocolate, and chocolate is in your face every day, it's at your house all the time, you're going to take a bite, you're going to take some of that chocolate eventually, right? So why would you set yourself up for that? So
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. They're not trying to be around kids though. They just want to go to a coffee shop, or they want to go to whatever the case. They want to go to a job and have a job.
You can't work for anywhere.
It's just like the regular law.
Well, no, I mean they're not working with kids. They're working at AT&T and they're on the line. Are you going to let them have that job, or are you going to let them have a line job, or no? Kids are on the line.
They can have that job. It's just like it's no different. It's no different from when somebody actually get convicted and they come home after they serve their time. Yes, you have the opportunity, you know, to redeem yourself, but at the same time, you can't work around kids. You can't be. You feel me? It's no different from if you shoot somebody and you go to jail and you come home.
And you can't have guns,
bro. You can't be around. Yeah, you can't be around no guns, and you can't be around no other criminals. It's the same thing. Avoid the temptation. Remove all doubt. You know, you can still live a normal life. You know, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see you around kids, nor do I want to see you have kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So the other thing that came up about this topic, So the other thing that came about this topic, is the combining, right? The combining of the LGBTQ lifestyle, or not lifestyle, but just the LGBTQ, you know, being part of that community, and adding and trying to make the sexual thing be a part of that. You know, so that was one of the things that I think a lot of us were really like against that. Like, you can't add those together. You can't put those two together. So what's your thoughts on that one? And how do you feel, or how do you think people in that community should feel about that?
Well, as a person in that community, fuck no. That's a whole criminal act. Get your ass over there. Like, and I was talking to my coworker about this because he's a homosexual. I swing both ways, bisexual, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, like, I feel like that should not be linked with that, period. That is a criminal act or a possible criminal act. When you are homosexual, bisexual, transsexual, metrosexual, question mark, you don't know what the fuck you are, or gay or lesbian, you fucking most of pansexual, whatever the hell you want to be, right? You are dealing with adults. You are attracted to another adult who may be the same sex as you, maybe both sexes. Maybe you may want to be another sex because you feel like you should have been a female order. That has nothing to do with messing with children. And they mess with consenting adults. You should not link grown people dealing with consenting adults or other adults, and then link that with grown-ass people sleeping with, trying to sleep with, or have desires to sleep with children. Those are two completely things. One is criminal. One is just, you might not like it, but that's who the fuck I love. That's who I want to sleep with. Two separate, complete, different things, so they should not be joined together. Y'all can have that with the straight community, and we can have our shit over here.
She said the straight community.
They can be with y'all.
We don't want that shit either. We don't want that shit either.
Like, they aliens to everybody. You aliens.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree with her. I definitely agree wholeheartedly with her. You know, and I had it back and forth with a young lady on our IG, and but it was, you know, just a little miscommunication because I had posted a video where a guy was actually talking about comparing pedophilia to, he was like, what's the difference between that drag queen and, you know, and pedophilia or whatever. She was like, well, how can you compare the two? Because everybody, she was like, how can y'all compare, you know, everybody that's gay isn't no criminal? And I was like, nobody from GFT Radio ever said that. You feel me? We never said that. You know, one is definitely, whether we agree with that lifestyle or whether anybody agrees with that lifestyle or what, that's their own personal choice to live there. They're not harming anybody. You feel me? They're not harming children. They're not taking the innocence from anybody. You know what I mean? And I do want to disagree with what they were saying. He said, you know, everybody in the LGBTQ community isn't adults.
Well, no, I'm not adults. No, not adults. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, we don't, like, you know, you might be a lesbian when you're a teenager, you mess with other teenagers and shit like that. But not everybody, I can't say it speaks for everyone, but just don't, I feel like it shouldn't be a line because not everybody is messing with, is trying to, like, I'm a bisexual person. I'm not about to try to fuck some little girl or some little boy.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have time for that. So like, don't link up with these
criminal act. One is a criminal act, and one is, you know, we got to also, you know, what we got to stop doing is when we talk about, you feel me, gays and lesbians and the whole LGBT, everything isn't sexual.
Yes.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So the first, you know what I mean, that kind of irks me. And you talking to somebody who, you know, I don't understand that lifestyle, nor do I want, and I'm gonna be wholeheartedly honest, nor do I want to try to understand that lifestyle. You understand?
So you don't want to touch you inappropriately? You never had a bisexual female?
I'm not talking. That's you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't.
LGBT community. I'm just saying.
You know. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I ain't.
Not all sexual. People caught up with just the sex and miss the part of everything else. So.
Yeah, like, you know, those people love each other, and you know, they just have normal relationships like us. It's just that they're the same sex. You feel me? But when we talking about, you know, pedosexuals, like that's You feel me? That's somebody, you know, even as a heterosexual man, if I was to talk to, I'm 30, I'll be 35 this year. You understand?
Oh, you younger than me?
If I was to go talk to a 16-year-old, like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? That's me. I could purely just take advantage of her so simply. You understand?
But see, that's why I don't understand the law, because
so it has nothing to do with being the same sex or anything.
Right.
So because New Jersey law states that as a 16-year-old female, if an older guy was dating her, a grown adult was dating her, at 16 she's able to give consent, so that would not be considered pedophilia or pedophile. Now me, personally, as a mom and a parent, if she's not 18, that's you a fucking pedophile to me. I don't give a fuck. If she's 17, she ain't grown. Period. She can't consent to shit you do. But like by New Jersey law, I don't know how Detroit law is, but by New Jersey law, you are 16 is the age of consent. So if you were to date a 16-year-old, it would not seem as pedophile. Now if she was 15, then you're a pedophile.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's say we go 15 then. Like, that's still, to me, me being a man, talk to a 15-year-old girl, you know, that's to me is disgusting. You feel me? That she hasn't even lived yet. She don't understand. You know, I could be real manipulative, even though I believe a 15-year-old at 15 years old, I understood what was going on. At 15 years old, I dealt with an older female. You feel me? That's also the double standard, you know, that we want to touch on. Yeah, you feel me? Because at 15 years old, I dealt with a female that was in her 20s. You understand? And
yeah,
you know, but as a boy, as a man, you get that way to go. That's what I'm talking. That a boy. You feel me?
That's
so it's, you know, yeah, and it's still the same thing. But that has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, and I just think we shouldn't compare the two, and we should stop always sexualizing the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, so that's my thing is well, first off, let me answer my own question. So, you know, first off, of course, I agree with you guys on the whole situation of not putting those two together, being sexually attracted or even acting, you know, definitely not acting on it, but even just being sexually attracted to a child or a minor is sick and wrong. They shouldn't be, you know, lumped in with a group of people who are, like you said, who are consenting to be in that situation and want to be who they're with, right? Or who they want to be with, or who they want to be attracted to. But I also think it's also damaging, and so, you know, I guess I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right now. Is that so? There's this thing right now where it says that, you know, there's a couple of sites you'll find it where it'll say like this movement is not legitimately being pushed in force to try to make this normalized, but I still feel like there's enough pedosexuals out there who want this normalized. You see the TEDx talk. There's people out there talking about it, and they're fueling it. But the problem is that like the poster that we posted on our meme was created by people trying to destroy the LGBTQ community. They were doing this in order to create. It was called a psyop, and it was basically a psychology experiment in order to take advantage of people's willingness to jump on a issue and attack a group of people based on that issue. And so they were trying to say that the LGBTQ community was embracing pedophiles, and they were doing that by adding the P at the end and making it part of their stance. So they were essentially trying to get people to go after the LGBTQ community and make them feel like, you know, make people feel like that like the whole community was involved in this and was wrong. so I think that was the one first big thing. And before I keep going, if anybody wants to call in and give their opinion on this, definitely give us a call at 657-383-1155, 657-383-1155, or hit us up on Twitter at GFT_radio. Anyway, so that's the big thing, is that, this even lumping these two groups together, or there's one group on this one side and then this smaller group on the other, trying to put those two together, it was a ploy by a group of people who just wanted to see everybody else attack the groups to get, as a whole, and then the other side of that too that I've been noticing, and I had this happen on my page, on my personal IG, was that there's people in the religious community who are pushing the agenda that this is an evolution, not a revolution, but an evolution. It's trying to say that the society in general, I wouldn't say normalizing, but I would say accepting LGBTQ community, saying that this is the evolution of it, that we will eventually accept pedophilia, and then we'll accept bestiality, and then we'll accept a bunch of other weird and unusual things that we currently find taboo. They're pushing the agenda that this is an evolution, and that we have put this upon ourselves, and that we should just accept it as well because we've done this to ourselves. And I think that that's also wrong, because nobody, even in the LGBTQ community, even there, it's not like they feel like what one group is doing has to be what they're doing, right? And what I mean by that.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he cut his own mic. I don't know. But he's going to go point. Yeah, you're back on.
There you go.
I think it went cut off quick.
So like I was saying, is that these, even in that group, in that community, not everybody feels like that they have to do what everybody else is doing. And then what I was about to say is that my example is like in Sonny's situation. Sonny's like, hey, I like men, I like dabbling women sometimes. I just have, when I feel it, and I'm feeling it, and that's her prerogative. But you have some women who are lesbians who will say, oh, I would never touch a man, and that's never going to be for me, right? Because they're straight lesbians, right? Or I don't know if I can put those two together, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so and then you have a large group of lesbian and gays who don't even understand bisexuals at all. Who are like, how can you be both? How can you like both men and women? That's just wrong. There's a bunch of lesbian and gay people and queer people who find transgender wrong. The whole thing is about personal prerogative and trying to put upon people the fact that there's people out here who want to do devious things, illegal things that are wrong and hurtful to others. It's psychologically wrong and abusive. Putting that upon people who are trying to just live their lives to the best of their ability is just wrong all the way around. And doing it in the name of religion is even more wrong. And it's a turnoff. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Is that the religious community sometimes, I think they put themselves in a bad light because they take things too far sometimes. I understand that you want to be right with God, and you want to have these biblical rules, but half of y'all ain't even practicing the same rules that you're pushing on somebody else. So to me, it's heresy. You're not heresy. What is it? Hypocritical. It's hypocritical to say, oh, you lesbian and gay people are so bad, you're sinners, and blah blah blah. But these same people out here fornicating, stealing, beating people up. They're out there diddling with little kids and everything. So it's like y'all the same ones doing the dirt, and you persecute a whole group of people. So
exactly.
So I think we got a caller.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're on the line with GFT Radio.
Hi. Yes,
Hi.
This is Kendra. I was just joining. Sorry that I'm just joining in, and so I just want to catch up to find out exactly where we are in the conversation. Who's online?
Willie, you want to catch her up?
Yeah. So basically, we're just discussing right now. Not only just the normalization of pedophilia, but also how people are trying to link it to the LGBTQ community and why that's damaging on that side.
Okay. Well, first of all, to me, it's just outrageous that they would even classify this as a orientation. I know that that is a deep-rooted feeling that there's something that you really can't control as far, well, you can't control it, but you can't control the desire, whether it's wrong or right. We all have desires that are can be harmful, or and we choose whether to allow that to turn into action, or whether we stop ourselves from doing it. But to say that is classified as an orientation, I think is outrageous, because it people are then going to add on that, okay, well, I'm attracted to animals, or I'm attracted to inanimate objects. I'm attracted to stuffed animals. I mean, where does the end? There has to be some classification of what we consider to be an actual orientation versus what is considered a sickness, a deviation. And I really can't see how something like this is even an actual discussion. Like, people are actually trying to get this turned into something like an agenda for a class of people. It's horrifying.
Yes.
Can I?
Absolutely.
I just want to chime in real quick before I bow out. I want to go back to what Willie was bringing up about how, it was a setup to, people were actually adding the P to it to get people to really go at and denounce the LGBT community. What I always say on this show, when we do these shows, the majority of people, period, are dumb. You feel me? And lack critical thinking. You feel me? And common sense. This is a fact. You feel me? So when we have these discussions, and when somebody try to link pedosexuals or pedophilia with the LGBTQ community, most people have that mob mentality, or they see or the bright lights, the LGBT, and they try to link that. Okay, well they together, so we're going to go at all of them. Like nah, you got to do the critical thinking and realize. Do your
research.
Do your like they're two separate things. And furthermore, when we talk, like I said, we had this conversation before, and I said before, all this stuff, all this, Willie said something about the church saying it's evolving or devolving. It's the evolution. This is what irks me about the church, because none of this stuff is new.
Absolutely.
Like be clear. Homosexuality, pedophilia, whether people want to agree with it or not, is not new. You feel me? It forget the Bible. It goes back to antiquity. That's why you have laws that predate the Bible that talk about this, that dismiss this. You understand? Like this has been around. This conversation has been around forever. Forever.
Yep.
This is nothing new at all. You feel me? That's why I said people don't critically think, because if they understand that, like, this is nothing new. The same fight has been going on forever.
Really,
my
this is
issue
this is the first time I've heard of anybody trying to classify pedophilia as a orientation.
Well, this has been going on since 2013.
In certain societies, it is normal.
And as far as the law concerned, they started constructing in 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything because people were talking at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I got cut off. Like I was saying, nah, it wasn't you. But like this in certain societies, it has been normalized. It was normal before. When you talk about the Romans and all, like we can have a deeper conversation. What we're talking about now is in this society, you know, people have to understand that, you know, we can't allow, like I was saying before, we sexualize it just because somebody a lesbian or homosexual. We're sexualizing them instead of giving them the dignity that they're just in a relationship with the same sex, to where pedophilia and all that, like that's a sexual act that is happening sexual assault on children. You understand? Like it's
more than just a sexual assault. It's a sexual attraction to children.
Yeah, sexual. Yeah. We talked about that as well. We mentioned that as well. The sexual attraction, and like the lady said in the TEDx talk, she was trying to say that the older guy, he didn't act on it, but he was attracted to it, and it should be okay. He shouldn't be ostracized. And we were saying like, no, that's wrong. That's a slippery slope, because the temptation will be too great. You feel me? The temptation would be too great. Like Sonny used the example.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Sid, I guess the main part I'm having a problem with is that the major difference is that we're talking about when we're talking about lesbians or or gays, we're talking about consenting adults. Okay.
Exactly.
If a child can't consent, there's already an uneven conversation, because since a child, which is the person that they're attracted to, can't consent and they're innocent, they need protecting. So they're like, whatever their drive, their desire is, makes them an automatic predator.
Exactly.
So it's not
true.
an orientation. You're born with, or whatever. I don't know how sometimes those who are abused end up being an abuser, and I understand that. But at the same time, we should be having a discussion about getting help for these people,
exactly.
so that they not only know that what they're doing is wrong. I'm sure they know what they're doing is wrong, but for whatever reason, they can't stop themselves. But they need to come up with ways of helping them temper that desire. I mean, my thing is, if a nun or if a priest, I guess what you would say is they're supposed to basically deny themselves having any type of sex at all. So if human beings can go throughout their whole life without having sex, it can be done because nuns, priests, monks do it. So this particular class of people, if they're only attracted to children, they're basically damned to basically have sexless lives. How do they go through that? How do they continue their life and go their entire life without being sexual human beings? Because what they desire goes against nature and is wrong and is against the law.
It's damaging to the person that, like you said, the abused. It's damaging to them.
Yeah.
So the fact that children can't consent to sex, to me, that makes it impossible for that to be an orientation. And the fact that it's not only wrong, illegal. So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The thing is, you cannot put an orientation on something that to me that is not only immoral but illegal. So,
yeah, but that's what they're trying to do.
Right, and
like
I understand them trying to get help for a particular group, but they're going about it the wrong way. And I think one of the things that the reason why pedophilia has been linked or connected to homosexuality, I think that's directly linked to all the children that are being abused and continue to be abused in the Catholic Church. Most of the priests are harming little boys. A high percentage of it. So because of that, it's given a stigma that most pedophiles or men, and most pedophiles, the men are attacking or hurting little boys. Now that may not be the case, but that's the the indication that you get from all of the news articles and the perception, right?
Yeah, but it's crazy because I was reading this article that basically explained how they were trying to make it a sexual orientation, and it was saying, you know, it's almost similar to, like you said, a psychological thing. So they were going to therapists or whomever and talking to them. So it became, they labeled it as pedophilia, you know, and they said it was a disorder, or I forget the exact term. It was a disorder and some other term. And then they were saying that, like you said, they couldn't help it. That's who they desired. So that's why when they back in I know the most latest article I read was starting back from 2013 when they were saying, like, when they were trying to get these laws and talking about these laws coming to the future about, you know, making it a sexual orientation so that way you can't discriminate against them. And I talked about that earlier in the show. So they were trying to link it to like a mental state, not a mental state, but something along those lines, and then creating it, like somehow bringing it into sexual orientation to make it where you, like you say, you can't discriminate against them. So that's where that happens.
Yeah. Okay, I'm fine with classifying as a mental illness. Okay, I'll put my hand up on that one, definitely, so they can get the help that they need. But that should not be classified as a orientation. Are you kidding me? I can't even believe that we're even talking about this. But it's so crazy.
Yeah. It's real, and they're pushing this to be a real law. And the way it's going currently, it could be passed. Like, you understand, like, and that's why I think they're trying to link it to the LGBT community, because the LGBT community has so many people in it. So if you do have quite a few that agree with this, do you know how powerful they could be if they really were on board? Not that all, but if the majority of the LGBT, if I'm saying if, because I want people to think, and listen to this and think that I'm saying this, but if they were backing this realistically, which most from what I read they are not, but if they were, and they had that weight of the LGBT community behind, this all would get passed with no problem. But then you also have to go back to what I believe Willie said. Most of the people that are behind or getting called pedophiles as of lately are powerful, rich people. These are people putting money in their pocket, pass these laws. So if you got money and you got that power to back these laws and get them passed, of course, because guess what? Everybody gets caught up on all these charges. Everybody's losing their job behind the bullet. But if you make it legal and sexual orientation and more acceptable, then you can go ahead and do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, if they come out, guess what? You're not losing your job. You can still be a CEO or a major head of a company and live your best life and keep fucking with little kids. Like, it's nothing new. We got R. Kelly. We got, what's his name? Rush.
Who?
Yeah. What's his name? What's his name?
We got man and women who are pedophiles.
Come on, let's be honest now. It's mostly dominated by men. Okay, come on, let's be honest.
I'm being honest, but at the same time, we're not just about to ignore the fact that there are a lot of women that are pedophiles. You know, I have friends who have been molested by women. So I mean, we're not about to ignore that at all. You feel me? Not to put everything on.
I agree.
So, I'm talking to her. I'm talking because she talk about the majority. Like, we don't know the majority. You feel me? We just know the numbers they give us. You feel me? And the fact, and I spoke about this. Hold on, because I spoke about this on my blog as well. The fact that, you know, we push aside young men that have been molested. You feel me? A lot. That's why men don't. Young boys don't speak about it. Excuse me, as much, because you feel me, they're gonna be looked at as weak. You feel me? Like I understand that the women, what young girls go through. I have a daughter, I have sisters, but I have brothers, and I have male friends. And when I tell you that yes, there are women who are predators, a lot of them. I was trying to post a video. I was trying to post a video on our page. You feel me? Go to the Savoy Show on IG, and it'll show a young lady was trying to molest another young girl, and they caught her online. You feel me? So it goes both ways. My issue again with this situation is, as far as the LGBTQ community, is that we're sexualizing. That's where the pedophilia, that's where they're trying to, because as a public, as a society, we demonize the LGBT community so much, and we over-sexualize them so much that those pedosexuals, they see an avenue. Like, yeah, the people, that's why they political thinking.
They are fucking pedophiles. I'm not even going to acknowledge the term pedosexual. They are fucking pedophiles.
Let's talk about pedophiles.
That's horrible. I'm not naming them fucking pedophiles.
Fucking pedophile. He's a fucking criminal. I'm sorry, but like y'all know, I as a person who got raped by a fucking adult. Fuck y'all fucking pedophiles, and I don't fucking never gonna call you motherfuckers no goddamn pedo. I'm sorry, but I just fuck no.
Yeah. I'm not going to acknowledge that word. I'm not going to acknowledge that word because it's made up and it's horrible to even think about, so I'm not going to go there. But I think you did bring up a great point that a lot of these pedophiles are very powerful. They're undercover. They're on the down low. They got pedophile rings going on, especially in Hollywood. And so the thing is, those who have power are maybe behind underhandedly pushing this agenda, so that they no longer have to hide, and that now things can be easier for them.
Right.
So, or there has to be more. I just cannot believe. I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to believe that a woman would be the one that would be leading this during a terrorist conversation. I thought for sure this was going to be a man, because I don't know if y'all know, this year is the first year that someone that was running for either Congress or running for some type of office, and he was a admitted pedophile.
Oh yeah. I think it's Congress. Yeah, I think it's state congressional. But yeah, he's on the ballot. Yeah.
So they're getting real bold with it. I mean, he's actually on the ballot. Like, vote for me. Yes, I want to have sex with children, and I want to have sex. Not only did he say he wanted to have sex with children, but he wanted to have sex with his own children. So I didn't.
Wow, that's
this is
crazy.
A man that was. Yeah, I saw it on. What was the name of that? It was on Turks, whatever that. It's a online like news program. Right.
Yeah, but why not? Because you have the president of the United States on video saying, "I grabbed him by the pussy." Do you understand, as the leader of the free world, basically admitting to sexual assault of an adult or whomever? Do you understand? This is how bold people are nowadays. You have
bold.
Free world just saying, "I do X, Y, Z," and he still became president. At this point, everybody feels like they can just say what the fuck they want to say, do what the fuck they want to do, and it's it. No reprimand. And because it happens. Realistically speaking, it happens. And this is why, what Clint said, it is women in there too. The same way we talked about the show about rape and how people think it's all just about females. Dudes get raped too, and they just don't speak on it because it's an embarrassment. What do you mean you got raped by a female? What do you mean you got raped by a man? You're a man. How can somebody say you got what's his name? Cruz. What's the guy? The buff guy that plays in White Chicks. He talked about it. He went on to the Senate and said, "This man that's supposed to be the head of my company grabbed me by my nuts and by his nuts in front of his wife."
Yeah, right.
In front of his wife. Do you understand how high powered these people are? They are emboldened.
I mean, until recently, they could get away with that kind of behavior. They could go up. Hey, you know what? You know how powerful I am. You know I can ruin your career. You better shut the hell up and deal with it. Right.
He got black folks, but at the end of the day, and this is what's crazy. When you watch that speech when he on Congress, and they say, "Well, you are a big guy. You are, you just that and the third." And at that point, he said, I felt like I was the littlest person in the room. And y'all seen Terry Crews? There ain't no little dude. That's not no fucking little midget. He's a grown ass man, buff and all.
Yeah, that's
and he got
you're
like
talking about. Yeah, you're
this
talking about.
is what they do. And for him to do that, that should have hopefully that empowered many other men to come forward, because like I said, I know grown men to this day that will rape either by a male or a female, and they question what's going on, and they don't talk to people because, like Clint said, they feel like they're either less of a man, and if it's a grown man that got raped by another adult man in his childhood, he questioned his sexuality because he want to know why. Like, this is what they go through. And I think for guys it's worse, because it's like, oh, you're a man. What do you mean you got raped? Like, you're a grown man, or you was this, that, and the third, or you got had sex with a grown woman, or you the boss. No, something was wrong. Like, it's more acceptable, or it should be okay in other people's eyes that this boy has sex with a grown ass woman because so now he's a man. Like, he may have thought.
Double standard. There's certain things like I was talking on my blog. Like, there's certain things that you can't. If a grown man was to say to a woman, he would be looked at as as a little girl. That some women I hear say to little boys, this predatory behavior. Oh, you a heartbreaker. Oh, that's like if a grown man walk up to my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, be like, you my little girlfriend? Like, nah. But we allow women all the time to walk up to little boys and say stuff like that. You feel me?
Hey, boy.
That's my little boy. That's my. You feel me? And that's when you do that. You gotta understand, kids.
And I'm not condoning
recognize that.
Right. The reason why that is because women are seen as non-threatening and nurturers. And typically, when a woman says it's considered cutesy or whatever, non-threatening, whereas a man says it seems more like, okay, this is a predator. And you're right. Mm-hmm. It's not appropriate, but women get away with it because they are coming at I guess in a different angle. It's not seen as like hurtful, but just as playful fun, a playful.
But imagine that a grown man being assaulted by a woman, and everybody thinking, oh, she's small. What do you mean she sexually assaulted you like that? This is why they do it, because if I sexually assaulted Clint, and he's a grown man, taller than me or whatever the case may be, and then he brought that to court, oh, I could pretend like I'm this little woman, and I would never do that, and they probably would believe me because to them it's not feasible, but doesn't mean it doesn't happen. This is why some of them do it. It's not feasible. This is the same way when Mary Kay Letourneau. It was like, oh, she's a sweet teacher. She blah, blah, but she fucking a fucking middle schooler. Like, this is why you get the teachers, like all the women teachers, matter of fact, look at this situation. All the male teachers that with kids, they a predator, blah, 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 blah. You got Mary Kay Letourneau, you got the other girl that was the blonde-haired chick. Oh, she's a good-looking woman, but they fucking little kids. But you on the news talking about how good-looking they are, and they want to survive their career, and blah, 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 but they was fucking boys, little-ass kids. Why are you telling me how good they are? They're fucking predator, period.
The woman that teacher that had an affair with her 13-year-old student, she went to jail, but that didn't deter her. She still
trying to get them.
The affair with him and had 2 kids with him. I think the stigma comes in that a man being aroused, that automatically means that he wanted it or he's into it. So it's like you can't really in certain people's minds is less of a damaging because men have to be aroused in order to have sex, and so if he wasn't aroused and wasn't into it, then he wouldn't have been engaged in the sex, and so but it's still damaging because that's still a child that hasn't matured to be emotionally prepared for what is happening, so it's still hurtful and damaging. Even though his body may be reacting to what's being stimulated.
But it doesn't matter because the thing It's the same thing with women. Like I watched the episode of Law and Order. This lady basically, her parolee was a guy. He was married. She basically put a gun in his head and essentially raped him. And when he told her he got raped, she like, what you mean you got raped? And he's like, I got raped. And she like, she basically asked him, did his dick get hard? And he was like, yeah, but I don't know how. Like it's a malfunction. I forget what that medical term for it is. But it happens when you get around the same way if you getting, as a female, you're getting raped and you wonder why you're moist, even though you don't want to be. Like it's an involuntary situation. Even though you're scared to death and probably crying and going through every emotion, somehow your body is participating in what's happening to you. You know what I'm saying? The same way you get raped and you orgasm. You all kinds of confused because you knew that you were scared and didn't really want it, but you orgasm. You know what I'm saying? It's an involuntary thing. So whether or not they want it to happen or not, that's why and that's what confuses a lot of people. Because when your body either seems turned on or excited or you orgasm during any type of sexual assault, you're wondering to yourself, did I really want it? Did I fight well enough? Like, you all like that. Like when I tell you that mentally fucks you up, because if that happens, you're like, you don't know what the hell, because you think, oh, how did I, like as a man, how did I get aroused? How did I stay hard during a situation? And it's an involuntary situation. And this is why, when men, it don't get reported, because how do you stay hard during that? And then you're saying you're being assaulted. It's involuntary, but people don't. But people don't realize that. They just think, oh, well, you got hard because of anything, and it's a medical issue.
Yeah, we got you, Sonny. So my thing is this. I think people have to be careful about the perceptions, and be careful about the thought that are allowing the thought that women can't be predators, sexual predators. We have to be careful about how we treat sexually assaulted victims, in terms of saying, how did you allow that to happen to you, or what may have you. So I think we do have to be careful of that on both sides, because you could create a victim situation when you let your guard down, because it's just this woman and she's harmless, that kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the situation that happened out in California when they found out that there was 2 teachers who were assaulting children in the classroom, multiple classes of children, and it turned out that one of the teachers was a female and the other was a male. The female was bringing the children to the guy for him to give them, he was feeding the kids semen, and he was touching the kids and taking pictures with the kids and touching them inappropriately, and she was participating because she wanted to see this stuff happen, and she was kind of controlling the situation. So, and I volunteered at a community outreach group here in the city of Detroit, where it was like, not most of the story, but there was a good handful of stories where the family member that was either a family member or a foster parent or something like that was sexually attacking these children, or making them do sexual things, were women. They were older women, younger women. They were women, and I think a lot of times it's because people let their guard down. I mean, one of my classmates from my high school, she wrote a book about her experience in terms of, being dropped off with somebody, with a family member, like, oh, they're cool, I'm gonna drop my kid off with them, and her, and her experience ended up being sexually assaulted, in that kind of situation. We let our guards down, not thinking through the consequences, or thinking through the issues that are there, that may sometimes even be glaring and in your face. So we just always have to be careful of that. It was one other thing I wanted to kind of go back to was what Clint was talking about in terms of the sexualization of people in general. Really, I mean, and I have a good example of that. Me and a couple of my coworkers were having lunch today, and we were talking about people being in relationships, particularly marriages, and them being bisexual, and And my one coworker,
knowingly
he was saying how
or undercover.
No, knowingly. But this is the thing. Let's look at it from this angle. Is that if like he was saying how he found out that these two people, they're married, they're both committed to their marriage, and one of the people in the marriage said that they were bisexual, and he said how. He didn't understand how that could be. He didn't understand how you could be in a marriage with a person of a particular sex, be it if you're a same-sex couple or an opposite-sex couple, regardless of the fact. He didn't understand how can one of those people be bisexual. And I had to explain to him it's not about the act of sex, it's about the attraction, And the thing is that we have to keep in mind that it's right, what appeals to somebody, because what you have to keep in mind is regardless of who you love and who you're with and who you've become committed to, you still had an attraction to other people at some point, be it opposite sex, same sex, or whatever, and you will still have that attraction naturally, It doesn't
whether
go away because you got married.
On it.
Exactly, whether you choose to act on it, something different. Exactly.
Well, come on, that should have been obvious. Whoever asked that question, that should have been obvious to him because whoever the person is was it a male or female?
There's a large number of people who don't think that, who don't realize that though.
Who seriously think? How can they say that when they can? How can they think that when they themselves would be attracted to other people after marriage? Every day, television, in your life, you're going to be attracted to other people. Whether you act on it is something different. So for somebody to say, how can they be attracted to somebody? Aren't you attracted to other people?
Yes.
Right. But that's the thing, because we sexualize homosexual people. We sexualize the homosexual lifestyle. We sexualize it. We make it all about sex. We don't make it about people. We don't make it about.
But that's funny because. But that's funny because, I identify as bisexual, and people tell me, "Oh, well, you're not out here sleeping with this girl and this girl and this girl and this girl and this girl, and you deal with. I see you always dating guys." I'm like, "Yeah, but I still look at females. I still find them attractive. Just because I ain't." Humble on every father, and that's what a lot of people had to, a lot of people think when they think bisexual, you trying to sleep with everybody. No, I'm not trying to sleep with everybody. If I wanted to, I can, but I don't.
Okay.
But people assume that I'm not, when they say, "Oh, you bisexual?" I didn't know that because you don't, I don't go around humping everybody. No, I don't want to sleep with everybody I know that's females. I have a preference too. But people get caught up in just the sex, and they think that just because I don't act accordingly all the time, no, if I want a female, I'll get her. Done. Not a problem. But do I have to do that all the time? No. I just look at them sometimes. I oh, shit. Okay.
Well, here's my opinion, and why homosexuals are sexualized. Because the little bits of information that we do get, heterosexuals do get, it gives the impression of, because especially men, because they don't have to go through all the courtship and wooing and romance or whatever. A man and a man meet, they know what they want, and they're going to go for it. They have, it's well known that they have gay gyms, gay clubs where they hook up. In the bathrooms, in the club, they have these certain areas where they don't have to worry about having an actual relationship. But they can just have worry-free, no strings attached sex with multiple people, and it's not something that I'm just making up. I've heard it from gay men themselves. So the thing is, it just gives the impression that there's a lot of sexuality that happens more so than the average heterosexual, because they don't have to worry about wooing somebody like you would woo a girl or whatever, try to get her to come over, try to get her to open up, try to whatever. You can just hook up with a man. You don't have to worry about that because men are just looking for sex, and then you just happen to and you're sexually attracted to men, but so you're basically the perfect scenario. You don't have to have that small talk. Hey, let's just get this. Let's make this happen. So it gives the impression that there's a lot of sex happening, ongoing, especially in the teenage 20s, 30s. And so I think that because of that, knowing that there's gay bars, knowing that there's gay gyms, where and you hear about them hooking up in the park and stuff like that, in the bathrooms. You heard what happened with George Michael. Even he admitted that he liked having random sex in wrong places. So I think that does play into the perception that homosexuals are hypersexual individuals. That may not be true.
And right, and that's a crazy thing to me because I know a whole lot of hypersexual heterosexuals. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That I think it's the fantasy behind it because
really,
and even though most heterosexuals will never say that they have a fantasy about homosexual activities. I think that that heterosexuals they are the oversexed ones because they have these thoughts about homosexuals. I always put myself in check about the fact that I'm not about to put my sexual desire on somebody else's head and say that they're the ones feeling this way or they're the ones doing these things or whatever the case may be. Just because people are getting so caught up in the sex tales of George Michael, they want to think that way about other people. It has nothing to do with those people. They're not it like Sunny was just saying, she's like, hey, I admit I like women and men, but that doesn't mean I'm having sex with a bunch of women and men, and that should be true for everybody. Everybody should be able to control their sexuality. I don't want to take that away from somebody.
Sex, but I'm not fucking everybody.
Right, but that's the thing is that I like sex too, but I have a girlfriend who I'm gonna only have sex with, or I'm only gonna be involved with. I'm not about to go put that on somebody else. I'm not about to go say, I'm gonna go. I like sex, so I'm gonna have sex with all these other women. That's the thing is that we have, and I think you mentioned that earlier, Kendra. It's about the act. Do you act on it, right? We all can have these desires, but do we act on them? But also on the other flip side of it is we shouldn't put that on other people and say, oh, because you're this way, that must mean that you're having sex with everybody then, right? And it's like, no, I can be just as low key as you. That's the thing. So.
And that's what I had to deal with for the better part of my 20s. Like, oh well, and because I don't broadcast that. I mean, now if people listen to the podcast, they know a lot more about me than they did. Because I don't, a lot of my friends don't. That's not a publicized event thing that I blast out there. But for those who know me intimately, already know what it is. But I don't and that's what the perception is. Oh, you fucking everybody. I can tell you, I probably had sex once this year. I'm in a drought right now. Not because I can't get none, because I don't want any. But that's the thing and that's what a lot of people stereotype you as. If you are this type of way, you fucking any and everybody. And it's like, no, I have standards like you have standards. I'm attracted to who I'm attracted to. I can't just, you can't say let's have a threesome and I'm going to bring this random person in and I'm like, yay, no, bitch, you got to type, so do I. We got to figure this out as a community. Because I ain't about to fuck that. I don't know what that is. But, it's not, and even that is just because I'm bisexual don't mean I want to have sex with women and men all the time. I may just want to fuck dudes all the time and then occasionally have somebody in there. But it doesn't say that I'm any less bisexual than somebody else humping everybody. I'm just not that type of person that I want to hump everybody. Or even if I was gay, I don't want to hump everybody, or I don't want to sleep with everybody because that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right. See, the thing is, we're talking about reality versus perception. And the perception is, especially with gay men, that, there's no self-control.
That's right.
There doesn't have to be self-control because men are more willing to have sex without having commitment.
But that's with females too, though. There's a lot of gay females that are like that too. I can tell you, I got a handful of lesbian friends that will go do what they just all the time. They get it popping almost. I'm like, oh, yeah, don't have the energy. I don't know how you bitches do, but they do. And it's like you can't generalize it just men. It's women. Like I can tell you, it's women that do the exact same thing, if not worse than men. And you can't say it's just guys. It's across the. If you want to fuck every day, fine, have that. You got the energy, go right ahead. I'm old as fuck. I don't have time for that. Like
yeah, I think what we're learning here. I think what we're learning here is that everybody's pretty much the same. We're all, I'm a heterosexual man. I like sex. You're a bisexual woman. You like sex. I don't know what your situation is, Kendra, but you probably like sex too. Everybody likes sex. We're all humans, right? We are humans, right? And so we all feel like we have these desires and we can act on them or not, right? And we all have our reasons or requirements. There's people who like to just have sex willy-nilly, random, whatever, and there's people who are like, nope, I'm only going to have sex with this one person and only at this one time. Or there's people who are like, I like to have sex in October and no other month. I mean, there's people have their preferences all over the place. And I think we all just have to kind of step back and realize that basically we're human beings. We all have the same wants, needs, and desires. But we have to remember that it's not the same across the board for everybody in terms of how we act on them and what we do with them.
We don't all have the same wants and we don't have all the same wants and desires, because that's why the topic we're talking about is deviant behavior. We all have wants, needs, and desires. Not the same one. I'm sorry. I meant in general we all have wants, needs, and desires. On a basic level. Okay.
On a basic level, because we're all human. We all have that, right? We all want to breathe. We all want to, but we also all have something out there that makes us tick, or there's something that makes us happy, or there's something out there. So on a basic level, you're right. On a basic level. So but we all just do it. We all just make our own decisions on how we do it and when we do it and the way we do it. And hopefully we can all do it with consenting adults. not
exactly.
So.
Not children. We're about to wrap this show because we got a couple minutes left. Thank you, Kendra, for calling in and voicing your opinion. We appreciate your call. We appreciate your conversation.
Yeah, I'm a friend of Will's, and when I saw him post it, I'm like, I've been putting off joining his discussions for a while, and I said this time I'm going to have to put my 2 cents in, because it just really touched me, because they're children, seniors, animals. They're the most vulnerable part of our society, and we need to protect them. And so I just feel like anybody who's trying to turn this into a situation where we're trying to give them the ability to say that this is an orientation, abhorrently against that. If anything, I could see them being protected as being mentally ill and needing help. And of course, nobody, even especially if somebody's trying to better themselves and trying to keep themselves from hurting others, if they're actually trying to, they should not be demonized. They should be allowed to live and have a good life as long as they're not hurting anybody. But at the same time, I can understand them saying that, okay, well, now that I'm out, I'm still considered a sexual offender. I'm going to be on this list. How I'm ever going to get a job? People will find out that I've done this, even though I've served my time. I'll be a leper. I will be, and I can understand that, because to be honest, even if you've done your time, I don't want you. If I have young kids, I don't want you around them. I don't want. The thing is, once you committed that crime, once I know that you have those type of feelings, I don't want you anywhere near children. You're always going to have that situation. That's never going to go away, because.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we got a whole other conversation on what's not going to go away and what's not going to change about these people out here. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Kendra, for joining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, and y'all have a good night.
Good night.
So, yeah. Great show.
This was a bad conversation, yes. I hope people actually listen to the show in its entirety. and take from it what you will, and definitely comment and let us know, even after listening to it. Let us know what you guys think of this show. Share your thoughts and opinions, whether it be our Instagram, our Twitter, or on our Facebook page, GFT Radio. Thank you guys for listening tonight, or go on to our actual space, GFTRadioshow.com, and let us know what you guys think of this show. Your thoughts and opinions will be posted up probably tomorrow or tomorrow evening, so definitely look for that post and definitely share your comments. Willie, you want to give out your information?
It's your boy Willie Styles. Get at me at Willie Styles. That's STYLEZ everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on Snapchat as Willie.Styles. I'm on Google Plus. I'm on so get at me all these places. WillieStyles.info for all my links. StylesRadio.com. We jamming, bumping all the hits. Make sure y'all come over here too.
I'll be sitting on Tumblr, but I'm not even gonna talk about my Tumblr because it ain't right. It's your girl, your favorite podcast girl. I am Sunny _D what is it? I can't wait a minute. IAM Sunny _D. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Check my blog out, unreservedlyme.com. Hit us up on our Facebook page. Find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, YouTube, of course, blogtalkradio.com/GFT Radio Show. Where else? Am I missing any other place?
Merchandise.
I don't think I
get our merchandise.
Teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Get the merchandise. Wear it. Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at GFT_radio. Hit Clint up. Oh my God, did he delete his Instagram? Or he might still be on there. At A King's Truth 609 on Instagram. He is on Snapchat, but I don't know what his Snapchat name is offhand. And
he's on Twitter.
Yeah, he's on Twitter at eTrendGroomy.
Catch him at Twitter.
Yes. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening. You gotta say the name. You gotta do the clip.
Oh yeah, catch us in 7 days.
Bye, guys.
Holla.
It's official. Every day is game day at Buffalo Wild Wings. Grab select domestic draft beer starting at $3.75. We know every day is for sports, as mandated by Buffalo Wild Wings. Watch all the games with people that are here for the right reason, with dozens of beers on tap and 21 different flavors of signature sauces and seasonings, and a bounty of wings, shareables, burgers, and more. It's built for fans. It's home for sports. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Offers and participation vary. Please drink responsibly.
Just told my husband I was running in for a few things at the anniversary sale going on now at Acme. Truth is, I'll need his help loading the car when I'm done because there are so many great deals.
Don't miss the anniversary sale going on at Acme. Click on this ad to see the great deals going on now.
Now these are savings worth celebrating. Pop the trunk, honey.